Hello, welcome to today's video. On this channel we do create awareness about fertility and reproductive health. Mukwano gwange nkwaniriza mu video yaffe eno eya leero. Omusomo gwaffe guno tugenda kwogera ku fertility. We are going to discuss about fertility. What are the causes of ovulation problems? We are going to discuss all this in today's video. The video is going to be in English and Luganda, our local language. So for those of our viewers, if you are an English speaking person, please bear with us. We shall also be throwing in some Luganda for our audience that is very comfortable with Luganda. So in today's video we are going to answer the questions. We are going to answer questions. Okay, it's going to be a discussion whereby I will be answering questions that have been asked by our viewers. You can remember, you can also ask your question. Obanga badde olinayo ekibuuzo eyo osobola okubanga naawe obuuza nembanga ate naawe nkuddamu. So the first question is, it has been asked by Deputy and she's saying that, hello doctor, my ovulation is delayed always. I am not able to predict my ovulation even with ovulation strips. The first question that has been asked is, hello doctor, my ovulation is delayed always. I am not able to predict my ovulation even with ovulation strips. So I am having two girls. How can I figure out the dates of ovulation? Please suggest. So this question has been asked by one of our viewers and she's asking how can she figure out her ovulation days. In other words, how can she calculate her ovulation day? Mu video yaffe eno, one of our viewers abuuziza ekibuuzo n'agamba nti, Doctor, nsobola ntya okumanya ennaku eza ovulation oba ennaku erigenda okuba nga lifuluma? So the only way or the best way of determining your ovulation days is that you actually have to understand your menstrual cycle. Olina okuba nga otegeera cycle yo eya menstruation etambula etya. The menstrual cycle is divided into two phases. Menstrual cycle is divided into phases bidi. The first phase is what we call the follicular phase, and then the next phase is what we call the luteal phase. Menstrual cycle erimu phases bidi oba erimu parts bidi. Part esooka oba phase esooka yeno gye tuyise eya follicular phase. Then part eyokubiri yeno gye tuyise eya luteal phase. If you see your periods, let's say you finished seeing your periods, you finished seeing your periods yesterday, and you would like to know when you are most likely going to experience your ovulation. Assuming that you have a regular cycle, then you actually have to begin counting from the first day you've seen your periods, and then you count 14 days. On the 14th day, that is the day of ovulation. Oba oyagala kumanya ddi lw'ogenda okubanga ofuna ovulation, ofuna olunaku nga wakava mu periods, then n'otandika n'obala lunaku 14. Olunaku olw'14 lwero olunaku lw'osobola okubanga ofuna kye bayita ovulation. But remember, this question that has been asked by our friend is that, how can I figure out the dates of ovulation? Remember, we've said that the 14th day, that is when you are actually going to be ovulating. But that does not mean that those are the only days or that's the only date of ovulation. Ekyo tekitegeeza nti lwe lunaku lwokalooka lw'ogenda okubanga ofuna kye tuyita ovulation. We also have to consider the first 3 days leading to that 14th day. So what you do, you count the 14th day and then you also count 3 days back before you reach that 14th day. And specifically, those days, they are normally 4 days. Those are actually your days of ovulation. Excuse me. So specifically, confirm you can have this. So specifically, you realize that it's very possible for you to actually get pregnant if you have been trying to get pregnant. The only thing you need to do is that you need to understand your days of ovulation. Osobola ddala okuba nga ofuna olubuto, olina okumanya ennaku eza ovulation zitambula zitya. Oba nga ozitegedde ennaku zo nga bwe zitambula, then osobolera ddala okubanga okola ki ofuna olubuto. So we are moving to our next question, and this has been asked by one of our viewers, and she's called Momodu Oshion. Yes, Momodu Oshion asked a question, and she was appreciating. I always enjoy watching your videos. Keep up the good work. Yes, that is so good. We really appreciate. And then of course also the next one is by Mustafa. I love watching your videos, sir. Thanks a lot, Mustafa, for watching our videos here on YouTube. Really, we are humble, we are grateful. Then we are moving to our next question. Remember, I can also answer your questions. Just go down in the comment section and then ask your question. I will be able to answer all your questions. Bw'obanga nawe obadde olinayo ekibuuzo ky'oyagala okumanya, making sure nti ogenda wansi mu comments nja kuba nziramu ekibuuzo kyo. So the next question has been asked by one of our viewers, and she's called the lady, that's her channel name, and the question is, hi doc, I wonder how to know whether we can ovulate or not, because some doctors say that although we have menstruation, it doesn't mean that we can ovulate each month. Thank you. Omu ku viewer waffe abuuzizza ekibuuzo n'agamba nti alikwebuuza nti because some doctors say that although we have alikugamba nti some doctors have told her that having menstruation does not mean that you ovulate. Now, every girl who is born in this world is born when she actually has functioning ovaries, open or patent fallopian tubes, and then also a uterus which is free from disease. But along the way, if something happens, for example, if she gets infections, repeated infections, these can actually cause scars and enkovu in the womb, in the uterus, and then also these scars can accumulate, and also they can actually be found in the fallopian tube. And then also, if this lady goes on methods like family planning methods, there are high chances that her ovaries may become dysfunctional. So omu ku mukono gwaffe abuuza ekibuuzo n'agamba nti okugenda mu nsonga kitegeeza nti osobola okubanga ofuna ovulation oba nedda. Badde ndi kugamba nti buli muwala aba alina obusobozi okubanga at least afuna ovulation oba egirivaayo okusinkana amazzi ag'omusajja. If a woman is not able to ovulate, in spite of the fact that she is actually, or she has been having her normal menses, but she's not able to ovulate, then this actually means that she could actually be having what we call a hormonal issue. Omukyala wabanga agenda bulungi mu nsonga ze naye naabanga ate tali ku ovulatinga, egi teriri kuvaayo kusizinkana enkwaso ez'omusajja, then kiba kitegeeza nti ayinza okuba nga alina obuzibu n'ekyetuyise hormones. When I talk about hormones specifically, these are actually chemical-like substances which are found in the blood, inside the blood of a woman, and specifically these hormones are very many, but in this scenario I'm going to talk about the four main hormones. Hormones zino ziri nyingi nnyo naye mu video ngenda kwogera ku hormones nnya. The first group of hormones I'm going to talk about is what we call the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. Confirm? You reduce a bit, that radio. The first two groups of hormones I'm talking about, we actually are discussing, and the first hormone is what we call FSH, or follicle stimulating hormone, and then the next hormone is what we call the luteinizing hormone, FSH and LH. The follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone, these are hormones that are produced or that are released in the anterior pituitary gland. The anterior pituitary gland is a small part in the brain which actually plays a very, very important function of actually releasing these two hormones, that is FSH and LH. Now, when these hormones have been released, they actually go to your ovaries and then they bring about release of other hormones. These other hormones I'm talking about include the progesterone and estrogen. Hormones ebbiri ezisoose zennyini zendi okwogerako yeno gye tuyise FSH ne LH. FSH ne LH zino hormones ebiseera ebisinga ziba released mu kapaati ak'obwongo ke tuyise anterior pituitary gland. Kano akantu kano kasangibwa mu bwongo obw'omukyala. Buli mukyala yena akalina naye kafuna stimulation oba kalagirwa okuba nga kafulumya hormones zino, nga ekitundu ekikalagira okuba nga kafulumya hormones zino kyekyo ekitundu kye tuyise the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus is basically that part which is just above the anterior pituitary gland, which actually stimulates the anterior pituitary gland to release the two hormones, that is FSH and LH. But remember, the FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, is a hormone which is responsible for stimulating your eggs. And then, of course, the luteinizing hormone is a hormone which is responsible for causing the release of other hormones, specifically the pregnancy-friendly hormone known as progesterone. So, wabanga wadde oli kwebuuza biki byennyini ebiri okuleeta embeera eno, ogenda bulungi mu nsonga zo naye toli ku ovulatinga, tosobola kufulumya G lisobola kusinkana enkwasa z'omusajja, mbeera kiba kitegeeza nti wandibanga olinamu obuzibu ne hormones. The only way to identify that you could be having hormonal issues is by doing what we call a fertility screen test. Olina okubanga okola test gye tuyise eya fertility screen test, and then results eziba zikomyewo tusobola okusinziira okwo ne tulaba ekiddako. When the results are out, we can always begin from there and then advise on what you need to do next. The fertility hormonal screen test is a test which can be done by your doctor. Would you like to book your consultation with me? Would you like to join my group of women who are actually seeking this type of advice, who would like to be would you like me to be your coach so that I can advise you and then of course give you my best recommendations on how you can get pregnant very fast? Then you can actually join me on my WhatsApp numbers. The WhatsApp numbers are below this video. You'll be able to join me and then I will tell you what needs to be done. Specifically, joining my fertility program takes only a few dollars, and you'll be able to actually join my fertility program, whereby I will be able to advise you more about fertility, about how you can actually get pregnant very fast. Wabanga yagala kubanga joining a program yange ya fertility, whereby nja kuba mbeera coach wanga nkubulira kyolina okola, biki byolina okola, test zolina okola, mbere nga ne results zo nzivunula. Osobola okubanga onjoininga ku WhatsApp, enamba ziri ku mabbali, tujja kuba twogera tulabe ekiba kiddako. Webale nnyo era beera bulungi, Mukama akuume. Thanks a lot for taking your time watching this video up to this point. I'm really so humbled. Join me on my WhatsApp, do your booking, and then you'll be able to join my program where I'll be able to advise you on what needs to be done. See you in my next video, and remember, in tomorrow's video we shall also be interacting, answering all your questions. Keep posting your questions, I'll be able to answer them.